Oh, good. Okay, yay! Awesome. I'm so glad this all worked. I know because when you had turned on and people were saying hi to you. Thank you guys for the love. Dr. Ian is here with us now. We were Miss J is also saying hello. Thank you for the hearts. We're so excited. So
I'm gonna let you be the host today. I'm gonna be the guest today. How about that?
Yes, thank you so much. And I was actually just telling everyone about you a few minutes earlier. Let me just move my camera up a tiny bit. And just how you are the host and how we met, which was through the doctors that you're the host of, and you just have such amazing energy. It's literally energy like tangible through the Zoom, just like awesome energy. And I'm so grateful to you. And so I feel so blessed that we've been able to stay connected since then. And that was like the fall, right?
Yeah.
So
it's been a while. Listen, I've interviewed obviously hundreds of people, and it's interesting. And I'm not speaking bad about other people, but when you interview a lot of people, you can kind of feel people's vibrations. Yeah. And when I interviewed you, I said to the producers, I said, I really like her. Like, there's something about her that is just very positive. It's very comforting, by the way, because I think that people are really stressed out, and there's been so much division in our country and the world. And there's just something very positive about you. And I just, it reminded me when I went to Japan a couple of years ago. And I remember how I felt in Japan. I felt so calm in Japan. And I felt like I was in Japan for 2 weeks, and I didn't hear one horn of a car.
Wow.
Nothing.
That's
Nothing.
Awesome.
It was so comforting. And so I say that to say I felt that with you. I felt like when I was interviewing you, I felt almost like something I've worn before, like it, right? And so anyway, I'm glad that you stayed in touch with me, and you've been very positive.
Oh, yes. No, thank you so much, Dr. Ian. Thank you so much. That's so kind. And you literally you just made my day. You just made my week with those kind words. I'm so grateful to you. And honestly, like, I can say that about you. Oh, you guys, thank you for all the beautiful messages. You guys are gonna make me cry. Like, thank you so much. I mean, I'm so grateful. And we have hundreds of people that are on right now, and they're so excited to meet you, and I'm sure many of them already know you. And I was just telling them very, very much the same. We just connected, just like such amazing positive energy. And yeah, I'm honored that I get to just feature you today, and I get to host you and talk about. First of all, if you could, kind of give everyone a little bit of background, because you've done extraordinary things. And I feel like I wouldn't even do it justice just talking about my connection with you and this book. But if you could just give everyone just a little bit of background, and please do not be humble, because you have done extraordinary things. And I want everyone who doesn't already know you to know you, and to love you and see you as the way I do.
Yeah. Well, let me just say, I'm a medical doctor, and my training is in physical medicine. But I've spent most of my career as a medical journalist. So I have been on TV for a long time. I started off with NBC New York, the Today Show, Nightly News, and then CNN. I've just been all over the place. But I have really enjoyed a career where I've been able to take really complicated medical information and break it down for people, and to try to empower people to transform their lives. And I've done it in TV. I've done it on radio. I've also done it in books. Many people know me for my weight loss books or health books. Fast Burn, which is the finished copy we got to get you on. It's great.
Yeah.
I love feeling it. I just love touching it. But Fast Burn is my 20th book. I also write novels. So those who like mysteries, I write mysteries also. My last one was called The Unspoken. It's a lot of fun. But anyway, this is my 20th book, and it's really about helping people harness positive energy and control their health destiny. It's 9 weeks. Each week is different, which is a lot of fun for people, because you're not doing the same thing all the time, and people get what I call food or planned boredom. So I avoid that with the 9 weeks. And I've tested on like 2,000 people, Serena, and it's unbelievable. They actually have lost between 15 and 17 pounds in just 9 weeks. And they just love the program. And so I decided, because it's been so successful before the book even came out, that I'm doing a free challenge for people. So if you want to join my challenge, it's on Facebook. It's called Fast Burn Challenge. You can find it on Facebook. We already have 300 people who've joined us today. But what I do is every week I do a live session I answer questions. And studies have shown that people who lose the most weight and keep it off the longest, they do it when they have good support. So my challenges are always about being positive, sending positive messages and picking each other up. So I hope whoever's watching, please join my Fast Burn Challenge on Facebook. It's a lot of fun.
Yes. Oh, so of course he was too humble because this is his 20th book. So I just want to emphasize for people who may have bounced in and on and off in just the last couple of minutes, Dr. Ian's written 20 books, and he's one of those geniuses, like a true unicorn, because both sides of his brain. He's writing books that are fact-based or science-based on medicine, on diet, and nutrition, but also, he writes novels. So I actually haven't yet had a chance to look at all these wows. Yeah. So I haven't even had a chance to dive into your novels yet, but I'm definitely going to. And are those all your books that I'm seeing in the background?
Yes, you are. This is a novel, by the way. This is it's called The Unspoken, and I just got to tell you this. I'm excited because it's been optioned for a TV series, and over the next 2 weeks, I have several meetings with networks like Apple, Netflix, Stars, Showtime, to talk about turning into a TV series. So I could use your positive energy to send to the universe.
Yes.
All I need is one yes.
Yes, absolutely. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay, so something that I've done a couple times, and I haven't done it for the last few lives, and I normally kind of do it towards the end. But something I like to do is do a giveaway of a book, or the book that the author is either this one is brand new. We can even do this one when it comes out in a week. We can do fast burn, or since you really want that energy to go towards the Unspoken, if you want to do a giveaway for that, we can tell people, because then we're all putting that energy towards that book, And what I tell people to do is, and if you're down, should we do that? Like do a giveaway of one copy of the Unspoken, or as many as you'd like.
Let's do this. Let's do it different. Okay. Let's give away 3 copies of Fast Burn and 3 copies of The Unspoken. 6 books.
6 books? That's
yeah.
a lot of books. Oh my gosh. Okay, you guys. That's amazing. Okay, so 3 copies of The Unspoken. Could you hold that up? Because I don't have a copy of that right here. So 3 copies. We're going to give away 3 copies of Dr. Ian's The Unspoken. We're going to give away 3 copies of Fast Burn. And you guys know, and we're gonna tell you what you have to do in a second, because we're gonna figure it out as we go. But definitely, I want you to screenshot. So screenshot this, tag Dr. Ian, tag myself, post it, share it on your stories or in your grid. If you're private, I absolutely respect and honor that. At least send me a DM. And we've made it really easy in the past. So this time so what is something you'd like them to share about each book when they post this as part of the giveaway? So would you like them to share what their weight loss or what their health goals are for Fast Burn? What would you like them to share for The Unspoken? That way people are a little bit more involved, because I think it's so important that intentional energy is put towards this. And it's not just something that's, you're being given away for free. This is a gift for you to learn, add value to yourself, spread that value, and add value to the people around you. So that's why I like to make it a little bit more involved. What do you think?
Okay, so for Fast Burn, I'd like people to say, it doesn't have to be a long soliloquy, just like a couple of sentences, why they feel like this is the time in their life they want to make a health change.
Okay, beautiful.
That'd be good.
Beautiful.
And then for the Unspoken, because people have been we've all been so weighed down by the quarantine and the loss of our normal life. And I look at novels and mysteries as kind of escapism. Yeah. And so for The Unspoken, I'd like you to tell me what is it about escaping into a world you may not know exists that excites you.
Okay, so two things, for let's go over it again. For fast burn, we want to know why, why you need
Why
this.
now?
Why now? And
Okay.
and also, you guys, you got to join the challenge. So I want to see you in the Facebook group for sure. Like, join the challenge. So why now? With the screenshot and the tag and share. And then for the Unspoken, sort of like what inspires you, what motivates you to go to a different place, right?
That's right.
For healing, or for some peace, or for some like positive distractions.
That's right. I like that.
Perfect.
Very good.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, I'm embracing my life right now. Bought a new home. Oh, wonderful. Okay, you guys. Okay, so back to this book. I'm back to Dr. Ian, because we need to talk about him a little bit more. Dr. Ian, haven't you worked for some presidents in the recent past that you sort of left off when we were talking? So let's share, because people want to know. They already love you, just because I've been sharing and talking about you, but they want to know a little bit more, and we're going to pull it out of you.
So, I have a funny story for that. So one day I got a call from an unknown number, and I thought it was like a marketer, telemarketer, or spam or something like that. So when I answered it, I was very attitudinous, right? I was like, hello? And the person on the other end said, this is so-and-so calling from the White House personnel office. I was like, oh, great, here we go. Like, it's either a spammer or it's one of my friends fooling around with me. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, yeah, right. No, seriously, we're calling from the White House. I'm like, the White House? Like, what are you talking about? Like, who is this? And come to find out, it was someone from the White House who was calling to tell me that I had been nominated to be on the President's Council of Fitness, Sports, and Nutrition. And they wanted to talk to me about my nomination, if I was interested, and what I had to do. And I was like, okay, this is real. So it was a very interesting start to my tenure on the council. But it was true. And they sent me all these forms, and you got to make all these declarations. It's a very involved process, by the way, for those who don't know, when you want to work for the White House. But anyway, I passed everything. And it was a great experience. Our job on the council was to give advice to the president and the first lady about physical activities, about nutrition, and about fitness. And it was wonderful because we actually met at the White House. So, and the president was there several times and met with us, which doesn't always happen. The presidents are very busy, by the way. And he was just fun. It was fun to talk to him and hang out. He was just one of those guys you want to hang out with. You know what I mean? I mean, really, forget the politics. Doesn't matter what side of the aisle you on. Just as a person to hang out, he was fun to hang out with. He talked junk. It was good. So anyway, it was a great experience being on the White House lawn and all that kind of stuff. And I want to encourage everyone, if you've not been to the White House, go to the White House. I don't know where it is as far as access these days, but if you can go in and check it out, it's our house. Yeah. It's the American people's house. Go enjoy it. Have fun. It's an awesome experience.
Yeah, there's definitely an energy that when you're there, and I feel like everyone should go and make a visit, because if you even needed a reminder, and many people do in this moment, and just what we've been through as a country and in the world for the past year plus now, right? It just reminds you why you're here. It reminds you why you're American. You really feel that patriotism, you feel that pride. And I think that, I got a chance to go when I was really young, as a kid, and you never forget that feeling. At least I don't think that you do, but you never forget that feeling. So I'm with you there. I encourage everyone to do that. Something that I wanted to point out that I felt so drawn and connected to you about is just the fact that you're a medical doctor and you lean towards, nutrition and fitness, and really like what are the core pillars of true health, and it's not just about medicine and Band-Aids, and I was wondering if you could just sort of talk about how that journey happened for you, because when I've spoken to other doctors, say maybe some functional doctors, there was like a moment, there was a place where they pivoted during their career where they realized there's so much more we need to focus on comprehensively in order to really give people the health and the healing that they're looking for. And as you know, that's so much what I do, not as a doctor, but as a nutritionist and chef and as a Reiki master. You might call it alchemy. It's just that comprehensive, it's a part of, it's all the things that you've got to do in a really balanced way. So could you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So I was a very atypical type of medical student. I played basketball at Harvard. I played basketball my whole life, so I was a real athlete, but I also was a pre-med major, which is very uncommon to have both of those things at the same time. I also come from a very working class family that had great ethics as far as hard work and believing in education. So I approached medicine different than a lot of my classmates. I didn't believe that becoming a doctor was going to make me some kind of god that, that I could brag because I'm a doctor and I'm standing on a pedestal. Instead, I thought becoming a physician would help me be able to actually be on the same level as everybody else, but being able to share goodness of knowledge with people. So it was never like, I'm a doctor and you're not. For me, it was always about, I have the opportunity to have great education and get to learn these things that other people either don't understand, they can't afford, or for some reason they weren't given the opportunity. So my whole mental was, okay, guys, I'm going to go get this information for us. I'm going to get it, work it out, and bring it back to us so we all can live a better life. And that really was my approach to it. It was really about sharing information. And I think that, a lot of doctors, unfortunately, because it's so rigorous to become a medical doctor, the training and the sacrifice, that they lose touch with kind of the average person. And they're not doing it purposefully. It's just that the process is so rigorous. And for me, I always wanted to remain connected. I'll never forget, as a young guy, I remember George Bush won, when he was president. He went to a grocery store, and it's when they had just started, this is how old this is, but they had just started putting scanners at the checkout with the cashier.
They weren't typing in numbers.
No. And he didn't know what it was. And it had been around for a decent amount of time. And everyone was cracking on him, saying, like, the president of the country is so out of touch, he doesn't even realize that in grocery stores now we have scanners. And while that was funny, and even the president laughed at it, so I'm not making fun of him, but what that said to me was always be in touch. Always be connected. Always. And sometimes it's a struggle when you're successful or you're famous like he is or powerful. It's a struggle because there are people who are around you who are trying to stop you from being connected. They're blocking you physically, and they're blocking your energy. And so I tell people on my team, I have a really small team, but I tell people on my team, I want to hear everything. Don't just cut things off from me. I want to hear. I may decide at the end of the day also it's something I don't want to do, or I don't want to speak to a person because it's not something that I'm interested in, but let me hear it, because who knows? So anyway, the answer to your question is that I was an atypical medical student, and I didn't look at becoming a doctor as something that was going to make me better than, rather than it was going to allow me to be a vessel to get important information to change people's lives out to the masses.
I love it. That's beautiful. And that's clearly why you've always kind of incorporated all of it, the fitness aspect, the nutrition and the medicine. And clearly you've served thousands and thousands of people. So again, I just want to take a moment to acknowledge you and thank you for that. And I also want to take a moment to acknowledge and thank, everyone that's so supportive and encouraging of, and grateful for everything that you've done and what you're saying. And, and just to circle back, Dr. Yin has written, this is his 20th book. And this one in particular, you've created this really simple way to achieve those goals, those health and weight loss goals in a way that makes so much sense. It's just a 9-week program. And I know you've broken the program down into 3 main parts. And could you go over that with everyone for the people that are interested And you guys go and if you can do it right now, I'm not sure you can, but on my comment on the bottom here, it's pinned. And it says, it has Dr. Ian's Instagram account. Make sure you go, you follow him so that you can see where you can order the book. Amazon, I'm assuming, right? They can probably pre-order.
Amazon, Target, Barnes & Noble, everywhere.
Okay, yeah. Amazing. So you can go and you can pre-order it. You can also join this challenge. But, if you could, for the people who maybe just jumped on and off, if you could break down like those 3 parts that you kind of put into this book, into this program, so that people have an idea of what they're going to get.
Okay, first, before I do that, usually in my books, my health books, one of my favorite parts of the book is my note from the author. That is me just talking to you. And I don't know if people read that because they want to get right to the plan, but I want to read to you just the first paragraph of my note to my readers, okay?
Okay.
Throughout my career, I have learned a lot more than I have taught. One of the biggest lessons that I've learned has been that regardless of how great a diet plan might be, or how effective it has been for a large number of people, there's no one diet plan that fits everyone.
Right.
All of us lose weight differently, and we respond differently to the methods and strategies that are designed to help us get rid of those unwanted pounds. So that's my beginning note.
Yes.
It goes on, but anyway, people I hope will like the note. So to answer your question specifically, there are 3 parts. It's 9 weeks. It's divided in 3 parts. 4 weeks of part 1 is called ignition. We're turning that ignition. We're getting going. So week 1 is transition. Yeah. Week 2 is turn up. Week 3 is called jigsaw week. And week 4 is called alternation. And these names actually apply to the style, because every week is different, to the style and strategies we're using for that particular week. Then week 5, which is the 3rd part, is the intermission. This is called the halfway point. So this is a time where we kind of relax a little bit, take a breather. We've been on it for 4 weeks, bring back some foods we missed. And then we go into the final 4 weeks, and that's called acceleration. That's like a runner getting ready to finish a race. The expert runners, they actually start running miles faster towards the end of the race than they did at mile 8 and mile 9. Pretty interesting. But so week 6 is called reload. Week 7 is our second jigsaw week. Then to my runner analysis, week 8 is stretch, where you start stretching your legs. You're getting close to that finish line. And then week 9, the last week, is called kick. When a runner puts that kick, no matter how sore they are or how much that lactic acid is building up in their muscles, they're able to fight through it mentally. So those are the different weeks of the plan, 9 weeks, 3 different sections. And as I said before, every week is different. And I said this to my mother. I said, this is the way you need to look at it. If you don't like 1 week on the plan for whatever reason, guess what? It's only 1 week. Yeah. It's only 7 days. So you'll be out to something new soon anyway.
Yeah, no, it's such a great way to look at it. And also, I love what you wrote in your author's note, just to remind everyone that, we're all beautiful, unique, souls, and the way we respond to things are not always going to be the same. So everything, like your book, these are all guides, they're guides and tools, and you have to still work with you and know that there are going to be some adjustments for you in weeks that there might not be adjustments for your buddy or your friend that you might be doing it with or might be in the challenge with, and that's okay. That's okay. But just to remind yourself, this is, these are tools, it's a guide, and to honor yourself, as you are following along. So I think that's such a beautiful reminder, and I love that it's in your author's note, Dr. Ian. And we already had people that said that they're buying the book so they can do the challenge. Yay! Thank you so much.
But can I just say this to you? What you just said is very important for people to hear again, by the way.
Yes.
No 2 people lose weight the same way. Some people lose pounds first, then inches. Some lose inches first, then pounds. Some lose both at the same time. You can take 2 people following the same plan, eating the same food, and doing the same exercise, and they will unlikely lose the same amount of weight. That's just how our individual bodies operate. Yeah. The saddest thing for me when it comes to people's weight loss journeys is when they compare themselves to other people. Yeah. And they get disappointed because they aren't achieving or reaching what others are reaching. And I tell people all the time, your only comparison is in the mirror. And this is life in general.
Yes.
Be the best who you can be,
Yes.
not with someone else. Other people can be an inspiration. That's okay. They can be an inspiration, but they should not be the definition.
Absolutely.
You are the definition. You define who you are and what you are and how you're going to be. And so I just wanted to kind of emphasize what you said, which is that sometimes other people will do things a little differently. And my book is called a diet book, a health plan book. It's not the Bible. So it is just a guide, like you said. The idea is take what I've written and customize it so that it works for you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't ask you to be perfect. No one is perfect. I'm not perfect either, by the way. But what I do is I give you a blueprint and then you kind of make it work for you. And those are the people who are successful when they take it, not as literally, I can't have one extra spoon of something. That's being too hard on yourself. Life is too short, right, to be hard on yourself. On balance, it's the 70-30 rule. If you do 70% pretty darn good and 30% you have fun, you're going to be okay.
Yes, no, I 100% agree, because that's what really makes it sustainable. You know, and all of this, everything that you're doing with everything that anyone is doing when it comes to your book, or just trying to get their health on track or improve. I mean, you're doing this so that you can enjoy your life. You know, you're doing this so that you can live a better life. And so being rigid and thinking that something that's not, it isn't sustainable, and it isn't a way to live life. And so you want to be balanced, and balance is really what's going to get you where you want to be. So, and this book, you guys, this book is going to help you, and it's going to help you get there. And if you guys haven't already, make sure that you go to the bottom and follow Dr. Ian, because you're going to see where the book is, where you can buy the book, where you can order the book. And I know it doesn't release until April 13th, so this is just pre-orders right now. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you can order now, and it'll be shipped to you by the 13th. Or if you're not an order online person, it'll be in Walmart, Barnes and Noble, Target, you name it, in stores. But get it now, because you'll get it on the 13th. And then on the 19th, we'll start our challenge in a Facebook group that people can join. Once again, it's called Fast Burn Challenge. You can sign up right now.
Yes, you guys, and I don't have that on here, but yes, Fast Burn Challenge. And there's actually already a couple people that have joined your Facebook group, and they were posting about it here. So that's awesome, you guys. I'm super excited. Congratulations to you, who I think, is it Shar? Thank you so much for sharing. That's amazing. We love that you're doing that here. And then a reminder tip for people that may have jumped on after, we're also doing a 3-in-3 book giveaway. So Dr. Ian, if you don't mind holding up the Unspoken again, and we'll okay, so you guys, super important. We're sending a lot of energy to this book and this project for Dr. Ian this week. And he's doing three book giveaway on the Unspoken. You just need to send a screenshot, tag us, post it, and let us know why you love to kind of journey into like novels and places that are kind of like where that's where you go to find healing, right? And just sort of relaxation and peace away from our normal day to day.
Serena, can I just say something about this?
Sure.
People underestimate the power of disconnecting and relaxing and exploring things that make you happy. Mm-hmm. They really don't make those connections. And something I was hoping that people would learn during this very difficult time, since we're spending so much time at home and alone, most of us, I was hoping that people would really start exploring what it was in life that really gives them purpose, that gives their life meaning, and that makes them happy. And I think a lot of people will have discovered that, buying $3,000 handbags or, buying $800 sneakers, like, it's okay. I'm not being negative about that, but I think people are realizing, wow, you can live without that. That's something you can live without,
Absolutely.
That's not something that people typically miss. What you miss are great conversations, great dinners with people, being able to watch a fun movie with someone and talking about it. And so I'm just hoping that people really understand, try to find, for me, I love, for example, watching streaming services. I love mysteries. I actually love European mysteries that take place in small towns.
Ooh.
I just watched one in Belgium, and I just watched one over in Scotland. One's called The Break,
okay,
which is really cool.
Okay.
So check out The Break.
Those.
Yeah, but I really want people to find whatever it is. I mean, it could be music. It could be, I'm learning French myself right now because I've always wanted to speak French. So I think that people should find something that gives them purpose, and I think that makes people happy.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think, I agree with kind of like disconnecting to kind of be within yourself, right? And to kind of find and tap into the simple joys and pleasures that you forget sometimes because we get so, caught up in the busyness of life and our external, and not taking that time to read a book or watch something that brings you joy really kind of reconnects you to yourself, even if it's about something that is not real per se, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's another reason why it's amazing that you're gifting 3 people with a copy of your book, and another reason why this book needs to be a series somewhere that we can all tap into and watch. So I love that, and I'm definitely going to set aside some time and do some Reiki for you about that, and send blessings for that. And then our other book your other book, not our other book, your other book that we've been talking about is Fast Burn, that Dr. Ian is going to give away 3 copies of this as well. So 3 copies of this, and you'll just do the same thing. You'll do a screenshot, tag us, and then let him know why it's so important right now for you to want to make these adjustments to your health. Like give us your reason. Your reason for tuning in, your reason for joining the challenge. And of course, we would love for you to join the challenge, especially if you're interested in getting this book. So I think that is really important. And again, I honor you guys. If you have private accounts, just go ahead and DM it to me. Those count just as much. So if you want to share it, that's great. But don't feel pressured to make your public.
And I'll let you pick the 6 winners.
Okay.
And then you'll let me know who they are, and we'll send them books.
Yeah, I'm excited. So just make sure you guys stay tuned. So on top of following Dr. Ian, you might want to just do post notifications. If you don't already have it, for my account with the little bell in the corner, make sure you do, because I announce winners on stories, and they only run 24 hours. So, you want to make sure you stay tuned. When we announce it, so I can get your addresses, and then we'll share them with Dr. Ian. So that's kind of the gist. But Dr. Ian, there were a bunch of questions that actually came in. I don't know how much time you have with us today. Do you have time to answer a few?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, wonderful. So people have questions sort of about the plan for the meals and snacks. Are they friendly for every diet? So say someone is vegan, or someone is keto, or there's so many different lifestyle diets. If it's friendly for all of them. So that was a question that came in several times.
Great question. Actually, my post today on my IG page talks about answers this question. So look at my IG page and look at the video I just posted. But yes, vegetarians, vegans, pescatarians, carnivores, omnivores, everyone can follow the plan, because what I realized many years ago is that people want options. Yes. And so I like to write my book so that you can swap in and out based on your dietary preferences, or maybe your dietary restrictions, or maybe you have medical conditions and you can't have certain things. So it's very flexible, and people love the flexibility of it. And so, yes, everyone can follow the plan and make it work for them.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so that answered a bunch of questions, just about those dietary preferences. Richard, let me get to your questions after I get to these other ones that came in earlier. People have questions about fitness, because they've now gone onto your account and they see what fitness you're an advocate for, but you're also just an excellent example of it. Are there fitness recommendations in the book as well? As one of actually several questions that came in too.
Yes. So everyone who knows me, they know that I love fitness. I've been in sports in my entire life, but I also realize that people don't want to be in the gym for an hour every day. Mm-hmm. They don't want to be there. They may not be able to afford a gym, or they just don't like it. And so I never ask you for an excessive amount of gym work. So in the back of the book, I have some, probably can't see it, but anyway, there you go. I have some, it's an exercise section. And a lot of these exercises, by the way, are exercises that people can do right at home. And they don't require any gym membership or any machines. And so I typically will say maybe 30 minutes on average, about 4 days a week, but you can break it up. You can do 15 minutes in the morning. You can do 15 minutes late afternoon, early evening before you go to bed. So it's a very accommodating, very doable exercise plan. Now, I will be honest, people have lost a significant amount of weight without doing the exercise in the book. But if you want to maximize your weight loss, obviously weight loss is a 1-2 punch. Dietary, nutritional changes, as well as a physical regimen, physical activity. And so doing both is going to maximize your weight loss.
Perfect. Wonderful. That answers that question. Then there were some questions about who the plan is fit for, meaning some people said, can I buy this for my parents? They really haven't done much since 2020. They've been quarantined. They used to walk more. They've gained weight. A lot of people have put on extra weight, from the last year. And so there were questions about, is it friendly for seniors? Is there an age range?
Yeah, great question. There is absolutely no age range. And I do that on purpose, by the way. So my mother, I won't say her age, is starting to plan very soon. And so she's on the upper end of things, all the way to, we've had people who are 20, 22, who are just out of college. Once again, before I put a plan out, I tested on hundreds and thousands of people. And so I've had the full range. I've had people in their 60s, 30s, 40s, 50s, people who just had babies. So this is for absolutely everyone. And I just recommend to people that, if you see something in there that doesn't fit your lifestyle, make a little modification to it. Don't totally change the plan, because the plan does have some fundamental principles you need to follow. But if you need to sculpt it so it works for your lifestyle, by all means, do it.
Wonderful. That's such and I know this already because I've had the book, but thank you for answering that. And it was a question that popped up quite a bit. So you guys, again, this book is such a great just tool. It's a guide, and it's flexible with you, and you can share it with other people. So again, I encourage you to join the challenge. I encourage you to go down here and follow Dr. Ian and go order his book, because then it will land on your doorstep on April 13th, which is in just a little over a week. So I encourage you guys to do. There are questions just about you. There are questions, are you plant-based? Do you drink coffee? What do you think about energy drinks? Have you ever been vegan? What else is on there? Oh, perfect. I'm so glad you put that. Let me see if I can pin that. Get accountability partners. I love that. So just questions just about you.
So
if you wanted to share.
Let me answer some of those. So I've never had coffee in my life, not a drop. I'm not against coffee, but it's just a weird thing. When I was a kid, I thought coffee was for adults.
Yeah.
And so I developed this mental thing about coffee, and I know it's not realistic now, but so I've never had coffee, but I'm not against coffee. You can have coffee in my book. I do not believe that people should have coffees where they put 300 calories of all these kind of creams and sweeteners. I don't agree with that, but coffee actually can be very healthy. I have never been vegan or vegetarian, but it's interesting you asked me that. My next book is going to be about being part-time vegetarian.
I love it.
Yeah. So I want to try to help people. I'm a meat eater. I don't eat as much as I used to, by the way, but I realized that there's a lot of us who actually eat meat who would like to eat less meat and more vegetables, but we don't want to give up meat altogether. And so I'm writing a book. The next book is about how do you make that slow transition to become a predominant plant eater, but not have to totally give away meat.
I love that. Well, you ever want to bounce ideas? I'm here for you, because I wasn't always plant-based. For me, it was a transition, and it was a gradual transition. And so I'm very, I get that. And so if you ever want to bounce ideas, I'm here for you.
It's going to happen. I'm going to call you. It's going to happen.
That's awesome. And we still do our veggie hash. We still have to cook together at some point.
Okay. Yes.
I'm there. We got to do it. Okay, that's awesome. And then there's a couple more questions. Hold on, let me go here and take a look. Oh yes, okay. So people ask you answered the question about coffee. People are asking about energy drinks, which I feel like it's already implied in your answer about coffee. People are asking you your thoughts on some of the trends out there. Like, what do you think of collagen, and what do you think of bone broth, and what do you think of lectin? So these are some of the questions that quite often come in when we have an expert. And so I just thought you don't have to answer all of them, but just whatever you have time to answer.
So it's interesting. I'm not sure where these things start or how they start. But before I answer specifically, I have this idea. You ready for this? I really believe after all these years of doing this, that the more strange or exotic or restrictive something sounds, the more people believe it. It's a weird thing.
What? Yeah. Now that you say it that way, it's kind of true. It's
like if you say
that's the formula.
Yes, because they think there's something magic. It's so weird. It's got to be something magical. So if I said to you that, all you need to do is have bone marrow, just bone marrow, 4 cups of bone marrow a week, people be like, "Ooh, that sounds really nasty. So it must work." I'm serious when I say this. I mean, because think about it. People were doing like the cabbage soup diet, where all you eat is cabbage soup. How could you think that that's healthy for you to just have cabbage? Listen, cabbage is healthy. You and I both know that. It has a lot of good stuff in it, but there's a lot of stuff it doesn't have in it, so you need other things.
Yes.
But cabbage soup, that's magical. Anyway, so I say that to say that when I hear things like about bone broth, well, yeah, there's a lot of good, healthy stuff about it, but it's not a panacea. Yeah. It doesn't fix or cure everything. Yeah. And it's meant to be in addition to. I can't sit here and say that bone broth is automatically going to lower your blood pressure, take you off of diabetes medications. So is it good? Yes. Is it as wonderful as the internet makes it out to be? The answer, unfortunately, is no. You look at collagen. We don't have good studies to say whether or not the collagen you're consuming is actually it's in your food. Will it actually work its way to where you need it, for example, to prevent wrinkles and dimples in your skin, right? And the answer is we don't know. And so will it hurt you? Nah, it's not going to hurt you. So, but you also should not sit there and spend a ton of money expecting that it's going to be a cure-all for cellulite, because it just doesn't work that way. So I hear these questions like you get all the time about these things. And my answer to most of them is there aren't a lot of human studies right now to say for sure it works, but you can best be assured that the claims that people are making on the internet are definitely way above what we know from a scientific standpoint.
Good. So, and gosh, doctor, honestly, love omega. That's the best, just the best, most real, most honest response that I've heard to that. Maybe I should take the word honest out of it, and I don't want any judgment on anything that I'm saying. It's just, that's just the most real response. It's 100% true. And it boils back down to balance, you guys. It sounds like almost too simple, but if you're really being balanced and you're following a program like this one where it really kind of helps you map things out for your body, that's where you're going to get your optimal results. Like that's where you're going to get that's how you're going to get to your goals. So I so appreciate you saying that, because I do have so many people that tell me, okay, I need to be keto vegan this week, or I need to do this bone broth diet. And I actually just did a piece myself about popular diets that actually can cause damage, if people take it too far, whether it's someone had asked you what your thoughts are about fasting, and I think that fasting has a lot of benefits, but in a certain way, done a certain way, not just I want to lose weight, so I'm just going to go on a 30-day water fast.
Hey, let me ask you a question. So what do you think about, you're a great nutritionist, what do you think about keto?
So it depends again on the body type. I think that it's a really quick way to drop a lot of weight, in a short period of time. So people need that kickstart and they have that weight to lose, meaning they maybe are balanced right now. It's something that you do for short term, but it also depends on if you're male or female. It depends on how old you are. It depends if you are, looking to get pregnant or not, because it can affect your adrenals, and throw things off balance and affect your hormones. So I think that there are benefits to it, but it depends on who you are as a candidate, like your own and what your goals are. Because if you're trying to lose some weight so that you can get, so that you can be where your body should be at, I understand that, but over a sustained period of time, I have not been a huge proponent of keto for my clients, and so, they can do what they want.
Yeah. So I'm with you, by the way, 100%. I just wanted your take on it.
Yeah.
I have many issues with keto. By the way, and yes, we both agree it works. You're going to lose weight on keto. The science behind keto is solid. It works. But the question I always say to people who ask me about it is, it works at what cost, number one. And number two, it works now. But how sustainable is that style of eating? One thing I do with Fast Burn in all my programs is I always talk about sustainability.
Yes.
What good is a program if it is not something that you can sustain for the long term? Now, some people will say, listen, I'm going to an island, in 2 weeks. I just want to be able to fit into whatever it is.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to my reunion. Okay, I get that. I totally get that. You want to do a program that's going to do that. It's not going to hurt you to do this program for a couple of weeks. But I think when people are making a decision about making a lifestyle change, I think they need to look at programs that the eating style and the foods that are available to you, make sure it is a sustainable plan. That to me is the most important part.
100%. We're so on the same page, It's the style and also sustainable over a period of time on your body, on your organs. Like, what are you going to need? Your body needs certain nutrients, you need certain things when you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and so you can't just like pin a type of lifestyle and think this is what you're going to do for the rest of your life, because it help you lose weight in a short period of time. So we're always in alignment. I love it. And I so appreciate what you said. And you guys, I know we're coming up to the hour. I could talk to you for another 5 hours. And I know that we have questions for it. So I definitely want you guys to go. And I didn't pin, but for some reason, it's the Fast Burn Challenge on Facebook. Make sure you go there. Make sure you go and you follow Dr. Ian. His account is definitely pinned on the bottom here, the bottom comment. Go follow him. Go, let's enter the challenge. We'll do it together. Order his book so you have it in your hand on your doorstep by April 13th when it comes out. And he's amazing, obviously. If you have more questions, definitely shoot him a text. Well, not a text, a DM. And he'll be there. So I'm so grateful to you for coming on today. This is so much fun. And I have something for you too. It's coming.
Okay, okay. All right, great. I want to thank you. I love your page. I love your energy. I thank you so much. And next time we do it, I want to host you on my page so more of my followers can meet you, and we'll cover some of your topics, okay?
Okay, yeah, no, that sounds great. I would love it. Thank you
so
much. Okay,
thanks, guys.
Thank you so much, you guys. Don't forget the Fast Burn. All right, okay, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.
See you. Take care.